Welcome to Pickleball by Pros, the world leader in digital pickleball instruction.
Welcome to Pickleball by Pros. Today's training session is going to be all about the hips. We're going to strengthen those hips because with strong hips, you are less likely to have knee injuries throughout your career, and you increase leg function overall, creating more balance and confidence when you move throughout the court. So we're going to do a few exercises here. The first one we're going to do is called a clamshell. So we're going to be on our side. We're going to get nice and low in case we need that band. We're going to bend our knees here. Our feet are going to stay together. We're going to open up that knee and come back down. As we open up that knee, we're going to squeeze back on our hips over here and control it on the way down. All the way down, and as we come up, really squeeze, keeping our core nice and tight. We're going to do 10 on one side and then flip over and do 10 on the other. Now, to make it a little bit more difficult, if you have access to a band, any kind of resistance band, you put them around above your knee and do the same thing as you come up, squeeze in and control it on the way back. Now, similar idea here. The second one we're going to do is we're going to be on our side, keeping that arm nice and straight, keeping everything nice and flat. Now I'm in a straight line with my body. My toe, I'm going to lift my leg up, but as I lift my leg up, I want to point my toe down. So I'm coming up, pointing that toe down, and coming back down nice, slow, and controlled. As I come up, I'm going to feel it all through the side of my leg here, squeezing my butt, and coming back down. All the way back up and down, really keeping everything else in line, because if we go forward or back with our torso, it works a different part of our body. So keeping everything in line and nice and tight. We're going to do 10 like that, and then flip over and do 10 on the other leg. Now to work the other inside of our hips, we're going to pull one foot over top. Same idea, keeping everything in line. And this time we're going to point our toe up, and this leg we're going to come up. So now we're working the inside of our hip and really squeezing on the way up and keeping everything nice and tight the entire time. And we're going to do 10 on this leg and flip over and do 10 on the other. Now, we're going to stand up. We're going to do hip circles. So, for me, to help with my balance and keep my core tight, I'm going to put my hands on my hip. I'm going to balance on one leg if I need to. I'll hold on to the wall, hold on to a chair, whatever you need to keep that balance. Keeping that core nice and tight. We're going to do big circles with one foot. We're going 20, 20, going around nice and big. One direction. Once we get 20 that way, we're going to do 20 going inside. And then switch feet. 20 on the big on the outside, and then 20 switch in with your foot going the opposite direction. Big thing here is we're going to try and open up our hip as big as we can. The bigger we can get our hip nice and open, the more deep it goes into our hip. And we'll feel it all throughout the back. Another exercise we're going to do here is called a seated hip march. So I brought a nice chair from my kitchen out here to help demonstrate this one. We're going to find a seat. Once again, we're going to keep that core nice and tight no matter what. And we're going to drive one knee up and squeeze and alternate legs each time. I'm holding on here just to keep everything nice and still. And really squeeze as we come up. This will really strengthen those hips, allowing you to move quicker and more confident throughout the court. Now here, you might feel the urge to come in and squeeze and use your abs a little bit more, and that's perfectly okay. Coming up and down. So we're gonna do 20 on each side just like that. And then finally, we're gonna go lateral side steps. So we're going to stay nice and centered here. We're going to step out to the side and just come right back in. Out and back in. Out and back in. We're going to do 12 on one side and 12 on the other. Really trying to keep that balance on that inside foot. Now to make it a little bit more difficult here, once again we can take off that band, put it around our ankles, keeping those shoulders down and back, core tight, chest up and out. We can go out and back in, just like we were doing before, but this time with a little resistance on our ankles. So when we go through them all again, we'll do the clams on our side, opening up, 10 on one side, 10 on the other. Then you're gonna go straight leg in and out, 10 each direction there. Then we're gonna come up and do those circles, 20 big circles on the way out, 20 on the way in each side, and then back to the chair, 20 alternating knee marches, and then 12 and 12 with the side steps. We're gonna do all of those for one round, and then give yourself a minute break, loosen up those hips, shake it out a little bit, and then do 3 more rounds just like that, total of 4 sets. Just make sure if you start getting any kind of pinch or anything that we stretch it out a little bit during the exercises. Good luck, guys.
Pickleball by pros, where you learn from the world's best.